ever the quiet kid in class, sitting there, too nervous to even say hi? Well, that was me. And the crazy part is that in primary school, I was the loudest of the class. So how did I went from being the mute girl to becoming confident again? So in this video, I'm going to share my shy to confident story. Plus the mindset shifts and actions that can help you finally to stop being shy at school too. Hey Dreamliners, I'm Amy. I'm 16 years no, I recently turned 17 years old and I'm still figuring life out with you, and I'm sharing what I'm learning about becoming my higher self. So first, my story. I was the loudest, most expressive kid in the room in primary school, and the teachers were getting tired of me. Suddenly, a huge shift occurred when I entered middle school. Yeah! So basically, two events that seem small changed everything. So some girls who were calmer and quieter from primary school avoided me and even told other people to stay away from me because I was too loud. At first, as a kid, I didn't care that much about their judgment, but in middle school, I started to perform for them. You know, trying to fit in and act like the quiet, polished, perfect girl. And some of them ended up being my classmates, so they noticed it and said things like, oh, she's actually quiet, calm, and normal. And I felt validated, and that approval made me happy. So this was just the beginning. Then the second thing that made me develop more social anxiety, made me become more shy than ever.
Nice.
Is that there was this boy that was constantly teasing me. You know, he was like stealing my pencil and then giving it back to me, even after I told him not to, and after I asked for help to the teacher. And this went on for days until eventually I exploded and started crying. And I remember that I cried even after school has finished. You know, my mom asked me why I was crying, and it created a little bit of drama in the mom's chat group the next day. Like, every one of my classmates knew it, and I felt a little bit exposed. The fact that literally some classmates that were not even my friends started to say hi to me and stared at me longer than usual. And even if it sounds small, those two events created a sort of trauma in me. The first made me want to perform as the quiet, normal girl, leading to social anxiety in the long term. And then the second one made me the mute girl who didn't want to socialize because I thought that everyone had bad intentions. Because let me tell you this, there were also other kids that were sort of teasing me.
Ah, you're teasing me! Naughty, naughty!
One, I remember that I opened my bag without my permission and saw a drawing that I made and showed it to his friend, and they joked about it. What I did next literally changed my life. I started to implement mindset shifts and actions that helped me solve my social anxiety. With this story, you know that even traumatic events can shape growth. My journey from being the loud girl to being the shyest girl in the room taught me lessons that made me stronger, that made me lean more into self-development. So, mindset shift number 1. Let me tell you this first. Everything happens for a reason. Like, don't shame yourself. Because it's absurd that now I thank the universe that it made me become the shy girl and that I never made friends with my classmates in middle school. I used to have FOMO, thinking that I missed chances to make friends. You know, I could learn a lot of social skills, how to talk to new people and all this stuff, which is so important. But now I look back and I thank myself for isolating. They weren't meant to be my friends because with my high standards that I have currently, I would have cut them off eventually. If I socialized with certain people, I wouldn't have developed the ambitious, productive side of me. Being alone allowed me to discover my passion for editing videos, self-development. Literally, those are the core parts of my identity now. Without them, I wouldn't be the Amy that I am today, you know what I mean? Everything happens for your highest good. Later in life, you're going to be able to connect all those dots, all those negative experiences all together and find a meaning out of it. Like I just did. Or, you know, disclaimer, this isn't about encouraging you to isolate yourself, you know, become fake so you can, like me, discover your own passions by isolating yourself and all this stuff. No, what I'm saying in this whole message is that you just need to keep being your authentic self. Trust your gut and grow through those challenges, because trust me, I trusted my gut to isolate myself even if it was like a mistake, but it turned out to be the best choice that I've ever made in my entire life so far.
Pow.
You know, I knew that, yeah, maybe I was wrong with thinking that everyone had bad intentions, but then like I was right in isolating myself. I wanted to fit in with those like cool kid groups that I never ended up fitting in. Thank God. Trust me, you can also find your passion and all this stuff like I did without necessarily isolating yourself. You just need to trust your gut. Even if it seems like a mistake or a bad choice right now, but if it's something that comes deep within you, if you intuitively feel like it's the right choice for you, even if it's uncomfortable and all this stuff because it's new, then do it, go for it. Life is one. If you make mistakes, you're going to learn from it. Like majority of times, if you trust your gut and instincts, you're going to end up receiving some gems. Mindset shift number 2. Take the risk and get uncomfortable, which links to the previous mindset shift. In high school, I promised myself that I would return to be the authentic, loud, expressive, crazy, weird self again. And it was awkward and uncomfortable at first. Really, I didn't know what to say with those new people that I was making friends with. I was constantly in the silence, wondering, will they like me? Will I find friends who accept all parts of me? And I started to do, you know, shadow work, because healing requires resolving your traumas. So, like me, you can ask yourself, what made you shy or socially awkward? Is it a bully from middle school, primary school, or a parent? And then, after you know the deep reason, in order to become your most authentic self, you need to then ask yourself, how do I act with people who are closest to me, who I feel comfortable with expressing my truest self? One action directly that you can implement right now is to speak the first thing that pops up in your mind. A joke, a question, anything. If they are meant for you, they're going to accept you. If they find it weird, cringe, then it's fine, because not everyone is meant to be your friend. Like, thank God. Like, the best thing you can do for yourself is to be your most authentic self right at the beginning. You'll quickly know who's meant for you and who's not. Don't waste energy by performing for the wrong people. Like, throw that shit out of the window. Literally, I'm speaking from experience. Because you can gain all the pros by being authentically yourself, which are the fact that it's going to make you save time, protect your energy, and it attracts the right people and opportunities. So yeah, if this helped, like and subscribe and share it with someone who really needs to hear this. And remember, if I did it, you can too. I was painfully shy and I freaking grew past it. Drop a sparkle, I don't know how to call it, if you're still here. So check out my other video where I explained the 6 red flags that I ignored in my friendships. So you can now know not only how to stop being painfully shy, but you'll know how to recognize toxic people. It will save you a lot of precious time and energy. And see you the next!